All right. We march on. We will hope, as players come back from injury here, that this team starts to figure it out a little bit. We'll also hope that Cole Caulfield and Tyler Toffoli on the second line helps things out just a little bit. Beat Detroit 5-0. It's a good start. Back-to-back games against Winnipeg. Jeff Petrie will be back for the second one. And Josh Mahora is back as well, so we got to send some people down here. It will be Brother who gets sent down, because Mahora will be a healthy scratch. So it will be Hoffman, Gallagher, Suzuki, Toffoli, Dvorak, Caulfield, Armia, Paling, Anderson. Honestly, let's try Evans. No, damn. Probably have to send Stevens down and make him unusable for the rest of the year, so we'll keep him there for now. Defense, Giordano, Petrie. I got to play Savard in the top four. But we can run Edmondson, Romanoff, third pair, Clegg, Savard. Perfect. Goalie-wise, again, Carey up to a 906. Let's hope he keeps getting better. Go best lines down in the AHL. Primo's gotten like all of the games. Blomqvist has a straight 3 save percentage. I don't think I've ever seen a save percentage so low, but we'll give him some games so he can fix that. Sorry for Norlander. It's like you just don't have a spot. We'll get Advocator out of there for Heineman. We'll get Nathan Gerby out of there for Koivula. Taro can come out for Cam Hillis, and I think Antoine Morand will stay as a scratch. Laval should be good, though. We haven't checked their record. 15-7-2. Not bad. Michael Pezzetta. Shout out to Sudbury. Leading the way. Good for Pezzetta. So we beat the Paul Mauriceless Jets again. Let's see. Chicago. That's our first loss in a while. We were 8-2-0. Or are 8-2-0 in our last 10. Back-to-back losses. And Toffoli gets concussed. It was kind of a battle of the Titans against Tampa there. Congrats to Teasdale. He'll just kind of slot in. We get a great opportunity. Or not, because we're going to have to go best lines, because it's a pain in the ass. I was playing Anderson on the wrong side, but that's okay. Let's just run Teasdale there and see what he can do. No reason not to. Alright. We ended up beating Tampa in that game too, so we're not totally out of it. I mean, it was a god-awful start to the season, but we can easily battle our way back and make it into the playoff conversation. That is definitely not a foregone conclusion. Let's get Mitch Stevens back in there. Defense. Make the swap like we always do. Perfect. Nashville. We end up losing. Not great. Colorado. We end up winning. Not bad. St. Louis. It's a loss. 15-13-4. Still not great. CBJ. It's a loss. Damn it. Let's take Carey out. We'll play him against Toronto. Blomqvist is getting quite a few games in a row. We'll get Caden Primo back in there. Jake Allen loses 4-5. Man, this is such a streaky team. Horrible start to the season. Really start to turn it on, and now really struggling again. We lose to the Leafs as well. God, this team. So inconsistent. All right, Clegg and Savard have been a terrible pairing. We have to break up that +5. We have no choice. It's going to have to be Edmondson, Petrie, Giordano, Savard, Clegg, Romanoff. And then forward-wise, Top line's looking okay. Still just 2 goals on the year for Tyler Toffoli, which is brutal. Armia, Paling, Anderson's looking pretty good, though. Fourth line's really struggling. We're going to have to make changes there. Might have to drop Caulfield down. Toffoli can't be dropped, but Caulfield can. But it also doesn't work for chemistry there. Honestly, I just think we're kind of stuck. As good as that top line's doing, like, Toffoli and Caulfield do not work together. They just don't. They need to be split up. Paulie, what's going on, dude? We'll swap Hoffman and Toffoli. But something had to change there. No doubt. Last game of the month is against Ottawa. We win 7-6 in a shootout. Goaltenders need not apply. So 16, 16, and 4. We are currently 5 points out of a playoff spot with a game at hand on Boston. Detroit and Buffalo are completely out of it at this point. And Ottawa's fallen out of it pretty fast. We have 2 games at hand on them. In the Metro, it is Washington, New York, and Columbus. Carolina's in a playoff spot right now. Flyers aren't totally dead, nor the Devils. But the Penguins and Islanders are in big, big trouble as we approach the halfway point of the season. The Pacific is Edmonton, Anaheim, Vegas. Calgary's there. Vancouver's in trouble. San Jose is dead in the water. And in the Central, it's St. Louis, Winnipeg, Chicago. Big, big trouble for Dallas and Nashville. Colorado's dead. And the Coyotes, despite all of those changes, are currently the worst placed team, or the worst team in general in the Western Conference. Only Buffalo and Detroit are worse. It's interesting to see what teams are still struggling. The Coyotes bring in all that talent and are still just absolutely terrible. Kucherov leading the league. You got Ovechkin, Point, Kuznetsov, Cale Makar in general is up there with the forwards. Goal scoring king is Ovi. Again, thank God for that new slider. It keeps the goal scoring down for the created players. It's beautiful. Defensively, people might disagree with the Mike Riley assist numbers, but aside from that, I'm surprised Adam Fox is struggling as much, but he also missed 5 games. Goal scoring king is Spurgeon Letang. Duncan Keith has 10 goals. But why do you have such low shooting stats? Isn't that going to affect stuff? Goalie-wise, Freddie Anderson and Igor Shesterkin are in a duel. Cam Talbot's not that far off. Rookie race, Boldy getting a little bit of separation from Tomasino. And you just have a log jam of pretty solid rookie performances there. Shane Wright kind of falling out of it, though, on that bad Sharks team. That's a shame. Let's keep going. I don't think we have to make any changes here and now. But we'll keep playing it by ear. I mean, this is going to be a big month for us, and losing 5-0 to Edmonton is a horrible way to start it. 3-1 to Minnesota. 3-2. Oh my God. We got to start doing the lose 2 in a row rule for Carey. We got to do it. We got to start getting Jake Allen more games. So we'll give Jake the next 2. We are 2-8 in our last 10. Make that 1-9 in our last 10. This team sucks. My God. Carey's 35, everybody. Like, we're running out of time already. Finally gonna win. I can't believe how streaky. Exactly, Rat. This team is so streaky. It's ridiculous. Back-to-back losses. Like, 1 second they look good, and then the next second, just absolutely awful. Petrie's been trash. Savard and Giordano. Oh my God, Cale Clegg. Alright. We're going to put Edmondson with Romanoff. I can't drop Savard or Petrie beyond that line. Savard has been better than Petrie. Fuck it. Clegg, Savard... I mean... Giordano, Petrie, Clegg, Savard, Edmondson, Romanoff. It's what we started for. Tanking for Bedard. You're not completely wrong. Tyler Toffoli has sucked. 3 goals for Toffoli. Brutal. We know Suzuki isn't going to be the best goal scorer in the world. Gallagher's doing fine. Caulfield, it hasn't worked. I don't really want to break up that third line. That third line's been one of our better lines this season. They've worked really well. But no combination of top line has worked for us. Let's go with Hoffman, Dvorak, Gallagher. They've been the better of the group. And we'll have Toffoli, Suzuki, Caulfield, and we'll see what happens. Except this time they're on the second line instead of the first. Needless to say, there will be some trades coming at the deadline. And needless to say, I think we'll be tanking at that point as we get shut out 6-0 by the Anaheim Ducks. We are significantly worse this year than we were last year, which is crazy to me. Because we do have a better roster, and Carey bounced up to an 89. We lose to Vancouver. We do beat the Coyotes. The LA Kings, we win. And Carey will get the games up until New Jersey here. Now we are on a decent little winning streak before losing to the Devils. This might be one of the most frustrating teams we've ever had. As Jeff Petrie gets hurt again. It's only for a few days. He won't miss any games. But as of February 1st, 20, 25, and 6, we are currently 9 points out of a playoff spot. And the Bruins have a game in hand. And the Bruins aren't even in a playoff spot. It takes 56 points to be in a playoff spot. We are 10 points out. Unless we go on a crazy run, we're nuking this team. Absolutely. I'm not even going to worry about stats elsewhere around the league. We got to focus on us right now. This team has a very, very limited amount of time to figure this out. We'll sim to this next game. Petrie should be healthy, and he is. We are going to go for the desperation, because if we make the playoffs, there's no doubt Carey can carry. TM. I think we try an entirely different fourth line. That third line struggled a little bit recently, so maybe now is the time to blow it up. Toffoli's on 5 goals. Okay. And then defensively, honestly, I'm probably going to scratch Cale Clegg and then try to... My God, he's so bad. I'm probably going to scratch Cale Clegg and then try to trade him. So, let's get a new fourth line in there. Evans can be a scratch, or the center even, but I'm sorry to AJ and Mitch Stevens, but... Well, actually, let's just take out Mitch Stevens for now. We'll try Evans and then Teasdale on the right. But we are going to be done with Mitch Stevens, I think. I actually think we have the answers pretty much right here. So let's go best lines. And indeed, by default, it keeps Stevens out. Let's set up the lines as they were. Or at least in theory as they've been. So that'll be the new fourth line. Paling and Armia are both somehow down to -1. We're going to drop Caulfield to the third line. I don't even know if that's going to stick. Dvorak might get dropped as well for Paling. We'll go Armia, Dvorak, Caulfield. Suzuki and Toffoli have been tragic. Which means Ryan Paling is going to be the top line center next to Mike Hoffman and Brendan Gallagher. Toffoli will be with Suzuki and Anderson. Armia, Dvorak, Caulfield. Greer, Evans, Teasdale. Jesus. Clegg has to come out. and we'll run Josh Mahora. Savard and Petrie have both been shit. We'll run Giordano, Savard, Edmondson, Petrie, Mahora, Romanov. Holy hell, this season. All right. We start February. The trade deadline is on March 6th. What will this team do come deadline day? Will we be blowing it up? Or will we be keeping it together just to see what happens? Because if we get into the playoffs again, anything can happen. Carey will play until we come up against Washington, although we just got shut out 8-0 by the Florida Panthers, and then beat Detroit 6-2. Super inconsistent. Price is down an overall point. Jake Allen against the Caps wins it. Let's keep Jake in against Pittsburgh. Can he get the win? No, we can't. We'll go back to Carey. We will go back to Carey. San Jose, Seattle, LA on a Western road trip, Calgary as well. As Mahora fractures his ankle. So he will not be the answer on lefty. He will not be the answer. Cale Clegg is not coming back in. Let's give Mason Millman a chance. He has skyrocketed in OVR this season. Good on Mason Millman. We'll try him alongside Edmondson. Or, excuse me, Romanov. Maybe. Ooh, boy. Can we do this? Nope. Okay. Well, Millman, you're not a great fit, but you'll be a -1 with Romanov. Is what it is. Just run it and see what happens. Why not? As we lost to San Jose, we lose to Seattle in convincing fashion. I can't send Cale down to the AHL. He'll get claimed on waivers. And here we go. The LA Kings. We're definitely blowing it up. We are definitely blowing it up here. No doubt. Maybe not fully blowing it up, but we're getting rid of some people for sure. As we do beat Calgary, we are nowhere near a playoff spot right now at 25-31-6. We are 19 points behind the Leafs, who have 3 games at hand. To make the playoffs, it takes 71 points. We are on 56. Dead in the water. Dead. Wow. So here we go. Just before the deadline, Panthers, Lightning, and Leafs. The Bruins do trail the Leafs. We know it takes 71 points, so they're not that far out of a playoff spot. The Islanders are dead in the water. In the Central, Minnesota, St. Louis, and Chicago. Arizona and Nashville are abysmal. And in the Pacific, Edmonton, Vegas, Anaheim. With, again, teams like San Jose and Seattle being basically out of it. Although maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, 10 points out for Seattle. San Jose might maybe have a chance. So the Washington Capitals are the top team in the league right now. We are in the bottom 20. It's just a matter of where. 24th. Oh, yeah. We suck. I can't believe we're as bad as we are. But we are trash. Ovi is not trash. Oh, my God. That might be the highest scoring pace I've ever seen Ovi have. 59 goals in 61 games. McDavid's only on 63 and 59. Meanwhile, Ovi and Kucherov are doing that. Defensively, Makar, Hamilton, Hedman, Carlson, Yossi all up there. Goal scoring king is Spurgeon, who has 20. Even though he's a shutdown defenseman. Goalie-wise, winningest is Mike Smith at the moment. Shutout king is Cal Peterson with 12. In terms of save percentage, Bobrovsky, Leonard, Smith, Anderson, Talbot, Hart. A lot of goalies still alive for the Vezina. And the rookie race, P.O. Joseph takes the lead over Matt Boldy. So the Vezina race is close. The rookie race is close. The playoff race for us, not so much. We are going to be blowing it the hell up. I like that it has us as a potential buyer. Yeah, that's not happening. Expiring deals, Giordano's gone. Cale Clegg is gone. We'll see what else happens from there. Shit, if Jake Allen has any value, we could probably move on from him. Just run Tokarski for the rest of the year. The real question is, who do we get rid of that is still under contract beyond this year? But we will start off with the obvious. As we'll get a look at who's available. Tomas Hertl, Pollock, Kopitar, Bergeron, Fleury, Rust, Arvidsson, Malkin, Roy, and Palat are the top names that are available at the deadline. So first and foremost, does Jake Allen have any trade value? He really doesn't. A 5th and a 6th. We might as well take it. We're not bringing him back after this performance. So Jake Allen to Columbus for a 5th and a 6th. We'll do it. We'll move on from him. And again, we'll just run Tokarski as our backup. The Islanders have made a trade. Doesn't involve Pollock. It's Holmstrom and a 2nd for Arvidsson and Levo. Interesting deal. Defensively, we'll look by OVR first. Mark Giordano, where are you going? For either Sam Colangelo or Philip Johansson. Let's take a look here. Do the Ducks need a defenseman? As the Bruins have also made a trade. It's Volchenkov and a 3rd for Teddy Bluger. The Ducks need a defenseman. In theory, they could use another one. Could push Larson into a depth role. What about the Stars? Okay, the Stars could definitely use another good defender. Let's see if that deal is still up. If we go back, I'm cool with using the trade finder a little bit more this time out than what we did previously. So if we go to Mark Giordano, it's Philip Johansson and a 6th. I think we'll probably take this deal. They get Giordano, and we'll get Philip Johansson, who doesn't have the best odds of making it in the world, but hey, it's a guy. So let's do that. Mark Giordano sent to Dallas. From there, Savard, Edmondson. The Oilers traded Xavier Bourgault and a 3rd to the Kings for Ryan Suter. Cale Clegg has to go. Let's get whatever we can for Clegg. And honestly, like, there are good offers. I don't want to take a good offer for Cale Clegg. He's shit. And for the most part, I don't want to rob a team of a prospect like Logan Cooley or the Bruins of a 2nd and a 3rd. I do like Gergensons in a 3rd. Haig in a 3rd makes some sense as a not very good deal. Matheos makes some sense, but not necessarily for the pick involved. Jonathan Quick doesn't really make any sense. Like I said, I'm not looking to rob the AI. Like, the AI doesn't factor in enough that Cale Clegg has sucked this year.
Highly unnecessary.
That with the Patriots jacket, and of course,
I will wait for the alert to finish.
Ball game for ruining a good piece of pizza.
To Garber, thank you for the 41 months on the Prime. I'm doing great. I'm sorry to hear of the work-related stress. Honestly, I mean, Gergensons for the 3rd could work. It's also Haig for a 3rd. Let's just do that. We'll get the 3rd out of it. We'll take on Robert Haig. We'll send Clegg to Buffalo. I might regret it, but Clegg has absolutely sucked. I don't want to take the best deal for him. It's not fair. So we'll do that. And we'll swap in Robert Haig just as a fill-in player for the rest of the year. I don't know what to do about Savard and Edmondson. I think for the moment we'll keep them. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's no denying we could trade these two. But honestly, a 2nd round pick doesn't do much for us compared to what we have. Yeah, we'll keep them for now. On the wing, Hoffman has another year. Gallagher has quite a few more. I mean, really, we're kind of stuck with these wingers, if you think about it. We are kind of stuck with these wingers. On the left, Toffoli has the extra year. He has been terrible. Absolutely terrible. I mean, obviously, if we use the trade finder, we're going to get decent offers, like 2 seconds, but I would rather just wait to see if Toffoli can turn it around. And then it's center. Does Mitch Stevens have any value whatsoever? Just so I can get something. Tucker Pullman, Quap, Nick Patan, Matt Plemple. Let's take on Nick Patan. Why not? Stevens for Patan. And I think that's pretty much all we're going to do for now. God, we drafted a lot of centers in that last draft. Didn't even notice. Honestly, I mean, could we like fully blow up this team in some ways? Yes, it's not totally worth it. Like, we got rid of the biggest bartering pieces that we have that are up at the end of this year. I think we're good. I think we're good. We'll see what other moves happen. But we got rid of the pieces that we wanted to get rid of. And it looks like no major trades happened. At least nothing popped up. I like how Giordano was unhappy about me trading away Jake Allen, only to then trade Giordano. So Ryan Getzlaf, who left the Ducks, is back with the Ducks for a second and a third. Alex Alexiev goes to Tampa. Luke Shen goes to Winnipeg. Shane Bowers in a move involving Tristan Jarry, who the Penguins move on from. Don't know who the hell they have in goal now. Sabres acquire Michael Matheson, basically for a second. Again, we had the Patan swap, the Clegg swap. Max Domi to the Ducks as well for Tracy Colangelo in a third. So the Ducks trade for Getzlaf and Domi for Tracy Colangelo, a third, a second, and a third. Awful from Anaheim. Absolutely awful. As Dante Fabro, David Kampf, and William Lagesson go to Calgary for a prospect and a pick. Ryan Suter to the Oilers for Borgo and a third. Let's see. Rocco Grimaldi in a deal with picks. Teddy Bluger to Boston. Arvidsson, of course, on the move to the Islanders. It was a pretty quiet deadline. I mean, we obviously had the most moves. Anaheim did some stupid things, I think is the best way to describe it. So we have Price and Tokarski in goal now at the NHL level. The defense. Oh, God, the defense. So on the right, it'll likely be Petry, Romanov, Savard. On the... Well, what do we do here? So the left could be Romanov, Edmondson, Petry, Savard. Then we need a left and a right. Does Romanov have truculence? Yes, he does. His truculence ice pack, basically the super physical player package. Honestly, we could use a right side shot. This is Josh Brooks' shot, for lack of a better term. Like, this is going to be Josh Brooks' big opportunity here to get some NHL time. So, really quickly, we might have to reset this, but I want to see what this defense looks like. If I take out Robert Haig for Mason Millman, I'd rather have him get the opportunity at the NHL level. So, Brooks, Savard, Petry on the right. Edmondson, Petry, Romanov, Savard, Millman, Brook. Works for me. Works for me. See no reason to not roll with that. So I think our defense is okay. Pushes Robert Haig into a depth role, but that's kind of why we picked him up. And then forward-wise, we have 10, 11, and 12. 13 there, technically. God. Yeah, I mean, we can run Nick Patan if we want to, or we just send him down. Let's see if we can get Patan through waivers, and we do. So the NHL side of things... Teasdale hasn't done anything. Alright. That fourth line's going to have to completely change. I am good with the idea of keeping Evans as a depth guy, but Greer and Teasdale, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. So we need an entirely new fourth line. Jesse Ilanen certainly deserves an opportunity now. You could argue keeping him in the NHL makes sense, but I think he deserves the chance. And honestly, we're going to go with the more skilled fourth line of Phillips, Harvey Pinard, and Ilanen. As Teasdale clears waivers, which is good news. That's what I was hoping for. So we'll be taking out Evans for Mr. Phillips. It's funny that Harvey Pinard and Ilanen end up in the top 6 with coaching strats. So we'll see what that fourth line can do. And then from here, I mean, Jesus, what do we even do? So Anderson's been good. Dvorak's been shit. Armia's been shit in terms of plus-minus. Caulfield's been a disaster. Toffoli's been a disaster. And Suzuki hasn't been that good either. Unfortunately, now Caulfield started the season as a third liner, so he can still be on the third line. But that's only for the rest of the year. So it's going to be Armia, Dvorak, Caulfield. Toffoli has to stay on the second line. He will be with Suzuki, which means we need either a left wing or a right wing. Gallagher has to play on the right. Anderson has to play on the right. So Anderson has been pretty damn good, but so is Gallagher. Same rules as the Penn series. A little bit more lenient, but yeah, same idea of trying to keep people within their position and role. I think that works. It'll be Hoffman, Palin, Gallagher, Toffoli, Suzuki, Anderson, Armia, Dvorak, Caulfield, Pinard, Harvey Pinard, Phillips, and Ilanen. And again, Robert Haig will be taken out for Mason Millman on defense, so it'll be Edmondson, Petrie, Romanov, Savard, Millman, Brook. Price and Tokarski in goal. Now you watch. This team will go on a winning streak. Guaranteed. This team will go on a winning streak. The defense is set. Feel bad for Norlinder and Xhekaj, but it is what it is. And then if we take out the vets, let's get Emil Heineman in there. Let's get Gerby out for, oops. Oh my God. For Hillis. We will get Nick Patan out of there for Antoine Morand. And Hirose can be out for Hirvonen. And we'll swap him with Semino. Alright, let's see what happens here. The hope now is that the Laval Rocket make the playoffs, because this NHL side is not going to make the playoffs. We play Ottawa, and we win 5-3. Here it goes. Here's the start. Here's the start of the comeback. Dustin Tokarski will play the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have really struggled lately. And we get shut out 5-0. I did not imagine Ryan Poehling would be top-line center in March for us, but here we are. The Bruins absolutely poop on us. The Sens don't quite poop on us, but still beat us. Back-to-back losses for Carey. Send in Tokarski. Dustin, if you lose this, I might have to call up Caden Primo, for God's sakes. He loses 5-2. I might as well just give Caden Primo the chance, for God's sakes. My God. I think we'll be firing our coach, for as much as that means. We will at least demote him. We'll fire the NHL goalie coach. That way I can drop Urquhart down. And let's bump up Lambert as our temporary, not even interim, but technically now our head coach. We'll see if that does anything. We'll have to check our lines to see if it immediately messes up the chemistry there. I mean, it does mess up the line chemistry a bit, but I mean, screw it. It worked out well for the defense. Let's see what happens with this guy as head coach. No major moves yet. No major pieces of the core have been traded yet. Shockingly. All right, if Tokarski goes 0-3, we're probably going to call up Caden Primo. So, of course, Tokarski wins. You'll love to see it. Is the current coach team fit? I didn't check because, let's be honest, it doesn't fucking matter. We play the Bruins and we get a nice 1-0 shutout. We play a god-awful Detroit team and win 6-2. Guess a more defensive coach is working out for us, though. How do you like that? Price back up over a 900. You see now why we're not setting goals for the season. We would have failed all three again. as we beat the St. Louis Blues. Continuing to win some games here. Tokarski still at an .868 for God's sakes. But we have won 6 of our last 10. 10 games to go this season. Just to confirm, our playoff hopes are dead in the water, I would imagine. 82 points to make the playoffs. We're on 68. Yes, our dream is dead. So now it's just seeing how a lot of the young guys can do. So we lose to Calgary. Again, right now it's just more about getting the young guys some playing time, and a lot of dudes are playing for their spot on this team next year. You know, it's like, let's see Tyler Toffoli figure it out as we somehow shut out the really good Florida Panthers. We lose to the Rangers. We beat the... Wow, back-to-back shutouts against the Panthers, who lead this division. You're welcome, Toronto, for keeping the dream alive. We will play Price against Toronto to try and fuck them over. So it will be Dustin Tokarski against the Boston Bruins. 2-1 win. Jesus, we've won 8 of our last 10. I told you this was coming. I told you. You can't blow up the team and not have them immediately go on a run. That's how it works. As Mahora is healthy, we beat Toronto as well. 36-36-7. We beat the Buffalo Sabres. What the hell is happening right now? And with 2 games left, 37-36-7. It takes 90 points to be in a playoff spot. We can't catch them. But man, we got close for what you would have thought. We play Tampa as Ilanen gets hurt. We win that one 3-2, though. This is ridiculous. What a run we just went on to. Of course, screw ourselves out of a better draft pick, or better lottery odds at least. And Ottawa, we win. We did not lose in regulation in our 8 games in April. Nine-game point streak to end the season. I hate everything. I hate everything. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, let's get a little post-mortem here with this team that really very, very much failed to make the playoffs. Mike Hoffman. Another 20-goal season, but in terms of putting up points, like, he really doesn't. It's just he scores goals, which makes sense. Like, you look at how his attributes are set up. What does Mike Hoffman do? He scores goals, and that's the results that we're seeing. He is up at the end of next year. We'll see. Ryan Poehling had a damn good rookie year. Well, not quite a full rookie year, but in general, like his first full season, 42 points is pretty damn good for what we were expecting. And then Brendan Gallagher, 73-point season was pretty good. Just shy of 30 goals. Pretty happy with that season from Gally. All things considered, it's about as best as we can ask for an 85 overall player. Toffoli, man. Only 14 goals. 50 points for $4 million is a great return on investment, but, man, only 14 goals. Suzuki, 64 points. Really good season for Nick Suzuki. Really good season. Josh Anderson, better than I ever would have thought. 55 points in the middle 6 for Josh Anderson. More than doubled his goal output from last year, too. Great season for Josh. Armia, oh boy, maybe not. Mr. Armia, 36 points, pretty good. Minus 17, oh God, what happened? $3.4 million, though, for 36 points. Christian Dvorak was a minus 27, but with a 40-point season, 44-point season, I should say. Again, money for point total is okay, but ugh. And then Caulfield is going to take a long time to become a positive player. He is currently a minus 40 in 94 career games. Oof. 36 points isn't exactly what we were hoping for either. Harvey Pinard wasn't bad defensively, but is not at the point where he can put up points at the NHL level. Phillips only had 2 points. Jake Evans with 8. Elonen had 2 points. Yeah, so that fourth line, they really weren't putting up points, but they weren't getting destroyed defensively. And then defensively, 18 points and a +5 for Edmondson's better than I would have ever expected. It's a damn good season by his standards. Jeff Petrie actually played better with Edmondson. That plus-minus was once abysmal. He still finished with almost 60 points and a -9. Not too bad. Romanov was one of our most consistent defensemen. Savard was trash. 27 points, but a -21 now in 2 seasons. Mason Millman was actually decent. I mean, 4 points and a +5. He had 24 points and was a +17 in Laval. Pretty good season for Mason Millman. And then Josh Brook was also solid. 4 points and a +2. Was having a great season with the Rocket. Very happy with Josh Brook. I don't know if those guys are going back down to the minors at this point. And then unfortunately, we talked about it, Price went from an 84 to an 89, and his performance outright tanked. Not sure what happened. The magic of franchise. And Dustin Tokarski was trash. So this was a pretty disappointing season for us. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, hey, we'll make the playoffs. I'm like, okay, we're not making the playoffs. If I have playoff aspirations and expectations, it means we're going to miss out. Only 3 players hit 100 points. One of them had 73 goals in 82 games.
Is nothing more than a system of wires and circuits.
Fucking hell.
It doesn't show feelings.
All right.
Only to the extent of which you
All right.
it to.
Jason Robertson was up there for Dallas. Good stuff. 50 goals, too, for Robertson.
More than the table
Aaron Matthews, Kaprizov, Goodrow, Braden Point. Goal scoring wise, obviously, was Ovi, Matthews, Robertson, DeBrincat all hit 50. McDavid was just shy of that tally. Again, no matter how well you set up Connor McDavid, guess what? The sim engine does what the sim engine does. How he doesn't finish with like 150 points, I don't know. Defensively, great season for Makar, for Hamilton, for Roman Josi. In terms of goals, Jared Spurgeon hitting 30. He actually does have a really good shot, even though he's a shutdown defenseman first and foremost, so there you go. I mean, AJ, I do use sliders and set them up relatively well. It's just, it's okay. You want the point scoring? Cool. Have fun trying to get the goaltending numbers to be what they should be. Hey, Connor McDavid hits 120 points, no problem. Yeah, and the Vezina winner had a .908 save percentage because the 80s are back, baby. The 80s are back. You know? AJ, yes. Which, in fairness, could be the issue. Let's see, goalie-wise. Looks like the Vezina's going to go to Talbot. Halak has a shout, Leonard has a shout, but I think Cam Talbot just won the Vezina. Got the 66 overall Nick Malik, who had a .922 in 7 appearances. Well, AJ, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, you can sit here and say, oh, hey, this worked. But if you ever try to claim, like, if anyone tries to claim, like, oh, I have the perfect formula for franchise consistency to replicate real-life results. No, you don't. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It simply doesn't. There is no way to get this mode to be properly consistent in replicating real life. It doesn't exist. It's far, far too random. Man, Boldy or Joseph? I'd give it to Joseph, given that he's the defenseman, but maybe it'll go to Matt Boldy. Maybe it'll go to Matt Boldy. Of course, Boldy does still have a high shooting output because it's Matt Boldy, and he should. So that does it for the regular season. Playoffs and such up next, but we will not be taking part in them because we suck.